Hello. Hi. Yo. Yo, Trevor May, Twins Hall of Fame. Am I? Not yet. What's up? What up, Perry? How we doing? Let me just turn this down. Turn down the music. How we doing, Perry? How's everybody doing today? I know it looks like I'm closer to the camera. It's because I put a different mic on. I need this to figure it out. I need the mic arm to figure it out. Happy Monday, everybody. How we doing? Let you filter in. Looks like somebody has the case of the Mayday Mondays. Hey, I don't have Mondays. Oh my god, this is covered in hair. Ah, you guys could hear the music, right? Like that was on the whole time. That wasn't like silent. I hope so. I really hope so. How we doing? How's everybody doing? Nick, Dale. Squizza, KB, Squizza with a brand new subscription. Let's get some teammate ones in the chat. Thank you so much for the sub. Not required, but always appreciated. Thank you so much, man. W. Music was on. Thank God, Bob. Thank the Lord. I am really excited to talk ball today. It's gonna be a little bit opened up. I'm gonna sit back a little bit more. We're gonna go a little closer with the cam because, frankly, all my short form stuff has been because of the resolution of the camera and how far away I've been. It's been hard to keep me in focus, and so a lot of them are blurry. So this is a 35 millimeter lens, which I've had for a while, and I like how the focus on it. The focus stays better. It's got a better depth of field than the other one. The other one's depth of field sucks. For those of you camera people that know, you know. KB on KBT on 3, dude. Brand new sub as well. Is that a brand new sub? Are these brand new subs or these resubs? I can't even. Thank you so much. If that's either way, I guess. Yeah, obviously, dude. Either way. That's probably why I don't know, because I don't have the thing up. All right. Yeah, dude. Brand new Prime sub. Ooh, Prime sub too. Look at you. Dude. It's awesome. Though now I'm realizing that leaning back is making me blurry. But I'm gonna have to be about right here anyway. So, what do I think of the Rangers getting Jacob and Max back? I think it's awesome. I put out a tweet the other day that, I know it's not great news for anyone having to face him, but Jake DeGrom being back is always good for baseball. The funny, hilarious thing is, watching that game, I was like, dude, he looks like he's throwing it as soft as he knows how. Like, he looked like he was lobbing the ball. Like, he's like, and it's 97, and it's just like, dude. Why is JD Martinez not batting 4 for Mets? What was he batting, 5? Rocker had a good debut too. Yeah, we're gonna go over it. There's some really interesting thing on Kumar Rocker on his movement and stuff. So we're gonna talk about what I believe his future might be. I mean, he throws hard. It's really, his story is freaking really interesting. So we're gonna talk about that. That is our focus fuel breakdown of the day, dialed in breakdown of the day. We will go over him. We'll go over more people too. I have some fun things to go through today, including baseball slang, which is gonna be fun. Isn't up where it was? I mean, that's the problem. Yeah, it's so funny. We're like, Jake Grom's velo's down. He's sort of 97, 98. What a joke, man. What a flippin' joke. Comical. Baloney. All right, guys, how'd your weekend go? Let's talk. I want to know about you. What did we do this weekend? How's football? How's our fantasy football teams doing? Did everyone chill? Did we have good weekends? Did we enjoy ourselves? Did we hang out with our families and our friends? I went and did some filming yesterday up at the AWA field. They had just got done watching the Seahawks game. Then we did some really interesting filming. And in our mockumentary, so those of you who don't know about this, myself and a guy named Shane Hansen, who is the producer for the AWA, he basically runs the behind the scenes of like all the cameras and stuff, like the broadcast. He just graduated from film school a year or two ago, and we were making a documentary about the league, a little bit of a mockumentary. There's going to be some dramatization, I'm not going to lie. We went and filmed a bunch of stuff, but I had an idea to use an Edgertronic for some of the filming, for some of the slow-mo, and it is awesome. The stuff we got is awesome. I don't know what style we're going to edit this thing in, but it's going to be fun. So that's what I did yesterday. We're still in Baby Watch, guys. We are basically 1 week exactly. So next Monday is his due date. That is also my birthday. So everyone say happy birthday. Because there's a very low chance that I'm going to be live on my birthday, because I don't see him making it past this week. There's no way. Kate is a balloon ready to go. She is done. She's so done. So we're getting really close. With that said, whenever that happens, I'm going to take whatever the next Monday is off. So if it's on Monday, obviously I'm taking that Monday off, and then I'm going to take the next Monday off. So I'll be clear about that, but I have a recurring event, at least on the Twitch schedule. So on the Twitch page, go to my page and click on schedule. I have this event every single week. And I'll just remove it for the weeks if I'm choosing to take the weeks off. I'm doing paternity leave. Meaning, I'm just, instead of being up in my office, I'm going to be downstairs. Basically what that means. I watched Donkey play baseball and, oh, sick. Moving sucks? Yes, it does. I hate moving. I played Warzone all weekend and streamed W Weekend. Dude, hey, anything better, Squiz? Hey, Squiz, how old are you, dude? I want to know where you're at in your life so I can live vicariously through you. Are you like a mid-20s? Are you just like, just really doing it? Because it's over for me. 25, I knew it, dude. Keep going, dude. Fight the good fight. Enjoy every minute. Enjoy every minute, man. It's awesome. Like, I'm really happy for you. And I don't even have my cat. I don't even have my cat. I don't even have my kid yet. And I just know. So, saw a couple more teammate jerseys apart during the homestand. Really, I feel like there's exponentially more Trevor May jerseys at Twins games than there was when I was actually on the team. Trevor, you're going to be a Mariner game on the 19th by any chance? Very low chance, Nightfall. But if I can sneak to a game this week, I might do it. Try to get one in before he gets here. Because at that point, guys, I don't even know if we're going to do watch parties for the playoffs. I'm going to try moving forward, like, just so you know, this being live for these 2.5 hours in the morning is like it's in terms of streaming and creating and stuff, this is a priority. So like Monday morning, we're trying to protect this nugget of time or this window of time so that from 8 to 10:30, I will have that at least every week. I'm trying to keep my work, like the things that I have to be at, the podcasts and stuff, to Rates and Barrels, doing the radio, continuing the radio, and doing this show in foul territory when I can swing it. But like trying to limit everything else besides that and just find time to do them. Though I have like 5 videos currently being produced and edited by me, but that's fine. I can pick that up and put that down. So that's where I'm at in my head. How do you feel about Bauer coming back to the MLB? Is he doing it? Or about the chances of him coming back? The dumb best. I like that name. But you gotta clarify. 2-in-1 game? Wow. Never caught a live stream. Loved you in the A's. One of my best friends is a starting pitcher for the O's right now. Watch your stuff. Are you, Justin? We talking about Povich, dude? Cade was in here last week. Unfortunately, I feel bad because I hope him being in here he doesn't feel like he was jinxed. Your YouTube edits have been fantastic lately. Thank you. I actually haven't done them. Oh, really? Kramer. Dude, that's awesome. Say what's up for me. Big fan. Big fan of Dean. I hope he doesn't hate me. I did break him down one time for a Sunday night baseball, but he pitched really well. I like his style, man. I like how he pitches. Is he just a freak athlete, by the way? I just feel like he is. Can he just like do a backflip? He gives me Joe Kelly vibes. Cosmo Kramer. Love it. Did you hear about Francisco have a back pine? Daniel, do you type on your phone a lot? Do you get a lot of like autocorrect? Because like we always hit that last word. I like the last word gets me every time. So close. Okay. Let me continue to catch up on some stuff. Guys, remember, Focus Fuel. 10% off your order with code baseball at focusfuel.com, ! Focus Fuel in the chat. Or you can go down into the description on either channel and click on the link. These things are delicious. 50 milligrams per piece. I'm not kidding. I eat these every day. I have one. I have them in my car. My new car, by the way. I got a new car, chat. Poggers in the chat. Just Pogs in the chat. Do you new car? Got a new car? Lindor's back pain from carrying the Mets on his back. Gotcha. Thank you so much. You love the pitches breakdown video last week? Thanks, Boombox. Appreciate it. Station wagon for the new baby? No, but it is an SUV. I went and got grabbed an RT, an RS1. Is that what it's called? Or an RS1? Rivian RS1, guys. I'll show you. I'll actually show you what it looks like. Even the color, bro. The R1. R1S. This be what it looks like. This is what it looks like. Oh, God. R1S. I got this color. Actually, we could just... Oh, well, that's not what I wanted to do. Open in a new tab. Thank you so much. This is it. Yeah. They're great. I'm really happy with it. I love the color. So just so you guys didn't know, I have a Tesla Model 3. It's small. And I have actually Jack Blayhouse, who runs the AWA, was like, dude, I'll buy it from you. So I'm just gonna sell him that, and then we picked up this. And one of the big reasons was, one, I'm not a huge fan of Tesla. I think I've been pretty clear about that. I think the company's just not. I think corners are starting to get cut. The service is getting worse. And obviously, you know how I feel about the owner of the company. So I'm just like, you know what? When the opportunity presents itself, I'm going to take it. And yeah, car seats fit in this car. So big fan. Yeah, that's the new car. This is what we're going to be hauling the baby around in, and also it's great for camping, and also is a 400 miles of charge, 410 miles of charge, which is comparably the Jeep of the same size with a 16-gallon tank. The Jeep Grand Cherokee also gets about 410 miles to the gallon, or 410 miles to the tank. So it's pretty comparable. Now. This is like the first one that's got even remotely comparable. It's so ugly, it's a cute car. Yeah, it's the front lights, huh? It's the lights. It's the lights that gives you that, doesn't it? Boombox. Danny, thank you for your 60 months in a row. Can I get some Team A happy smiles in the chat for that? Oh my God, Eric, I'm so sorry I missed that, dude. Tier 2 sub. Eric, you might be the only non-tier 1 sub in the entire chat now. Congratulations, Eric. You are the king of subbing. Is Derek Bender a topic today? It can be, Brian. Fill me in. What's up with Eric Bender or Derek Bender? Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna search his name and figure it out and guess. All right. We can definitely get into Derek Bender. I got a lot of good stuff today, guys. But I really just wanted to check in with you, letting everyone filter in. Remember, the first 20 minutes of the show is this every time. Yes, Derek Bender is definitely on the thing. Yes. I thought you were talking about Anthony Bender for some reason. Yes, we are talking about Derek Bender. He is already in the list. Yes, big time. The fact that Giants didn't trade Snell is puzzling. They didn't trade him, for one. There's so many question marks around. So here's the deal. One, people teams had to create a value proposition for what they're willing to trade for him, right? Based on the likelihood that they get value past this year, or whether or not they feel like he's going to opt out. I think every team thinks he's going to opt out, and so they weren't willing to trade anything for him because they were only going to get half a year. No, they didn't want him as a rental. If you're going to pay that kind of money, if you're going to pay $15 million for the rest of the year, or whatever it was, $13 million, you want to make sure you have a shot at keeping him long term. That would limit the teams. There was just too many boxes that needed to be checked, too many planets that needed to align to get him traded. So, anyone would have wanted him, yeah. But like, I bet you the Giants were open to it. I just think that like the offers were probably nowhere close. That's probably what happened. They probably got nowhere with it. You think the Blazer EVs are so pretty? I'm glad that there's EVs. The F-150 EVs freaking it's so strong. It looks so badass. Trevor May, who's the funny Mets teammates that made you laugh the most? Danny V. Vogelback, dude. The burgers. The max battery, 400 mile R1S, if completely depleted, would take just under 13 hours to charge. Yeah, if you're on the 120 volt in your own home, yeah, it will take that long. If you plug it in your own garage. But if you go to you can go to Tesla chargers now. The Kia Telluride. Paul was talking about that. That's interesting to him. Is glass now actually made of glass? You cannot stay healthy. I mean, at this point, you got to start calling him glass now. Yeah, I mean, I think he would take that. I don't think he would argue with that. I think he would be like, yeah, man, I hate that this happens. But yeah, he's gotta find a way. He's got this 220 V doesn't take as long. Yeah, no, that's the 220 V. That's how long it'll take because it's a big battery. It's a massive battery. So like I'm on 12 or I'm on 15 volt right now, and it takes like 3 days to charge all the way up if it's depleted. The cool thing is I don't drive that far. So like I plug it in overnight, I make back the miles I use that day usually. So will Mets make playoffs? Man, I hope so. They're looking really good, Daniel. I'm feeling very optimistic. I understand what it's like to be a Mets fan. Oh, I know. But like I am all in on the Mets. I think they're playing quality ball. I think they could beat anyone right now. It's just about how quality their starting pitcher, how good their starting pitching is in the playoff series. That's all it's going to come down to because they can hit. They just need to be able to hang around long enough to get going. But I think they have a good opportunity. Twins, I do think the Twins are going to end up holding on only because it's between the Tigers and the Mariners. I don't think the Mariners are going to catch the Twins without a huge collapse. Like if the Mariners go 500 for the rest of the year, or if the Twins go to 500 for the rest of the year in the last 2 weeks, they're going to be fine. They're going to make it. They just need to not collapse. So nobody ever believes in the Giants. You could look at betting lines for 2010, 12, and 14. Yeah, of course they don't. And I would say the wild card, I bet you a wild card team wins the World Series this year. How do you feel about the Lindor injury? Bad. I feel bad. Oh my God, I didn't know Lindor got hurt. Fudge. All right. No, did Lindor really hurt his back? Because that is not good. Trevor, the Tigers' offense is looking so good right now. I had him winning the division. I like too late to come. What the hell, guys? Why are we waiting until this? I think the only two people on the planet that weren't surprised by the Royals is Danny Wexelman and me. Like we were all in on. We were like, dude, I think they're gonna take They're gonna make the playoffs this year. We both predicted. She had them winning the division. I had them making the playoffs. Don't say that me. I'm a Phils fan. Been a very fun year. Yeah, it's. But think about it, Anthony. Think about it. I hope not. Honestly, I think Okay, so here's the thing. I want it to be underdog versus Goliath or two Goliaths. I understand. I totally get why this isn't exciting for people. But I want to see big markets play off in the World Series. It would be cool. It would be just for the narrative to like have LA versus New York or something. That just narratively. Just think about it just from a Goliath versus Goliath, West Coast, East Coast. Like think about all the angles. That just make that generally fun. I understand. No one wants to see the Yankees in the World Series besides Yankees fans. I get that. And no one wants to see LA except for LA. So those are the obvious choices. But if one of them is going to make the playoffs or make the World Series, I hope they both do so that we can at least see like the behemoths on both sides face off. Not just one. Give me either both or give me an interesting matchup after that. Yeah, or give me someone who hasn't won a World Series before. I would love to see San Diego go. I would love to see the Brewers go. Right? That'd be cool. It'd be cool to see a team freaking like I was watching the Bucks in the NBA Finals a few years ago because I was like they haven't won in a while. Like they're like Cleveland. Cleveland's another good one. Brewers, Cleveland. Brewers, Cleveland, San Diego. I mean Arizona won in the 2000s. That'd be cool. Twins. Like give me a team that hasn't won. Mets, a team that hasn't won in a long time. Give me a team that hasn't won in the last 30 years, a World Series. That'd be great. I would appreciate that a lot. Padres would be cool. It would be cool. It would be cool. Guys, thank you for being in here, chilling, hanging out. I appreciate you. Look, we're gonna get into the news here in a moment. But I have to really quickly mute because I have to cough. Sorry about that. All righty. Let's get into some news. Freaking wrong. Guys, I got to figure this out. Oh. Unfortunately, I believe the Rays are out, so don't you get your hopes up too much, boys and girls. Okay. We have the first ever right-handed hitter to hit a splash homer, guys. This has never happened in the history of the park. This is the first time any righties ever hit it out. Not only that, by the way, Heliot Ramos, absolute unit of a human. But even no one's even hit it out. No one could even say they've seen a righty hit it a splash hit in BP. So not only did he hit it in the game. No one's ever done this. And again, it's Robert Suarez. We were talking about him last week. Right? What's up with Robert Suarez? He gives up another home run. But maybe, just maybe, we needed a guy like Heliot Ramos, a monster, to hit 100-mile-an-hour fastball oppo. Think about that. Maybe this is what we needed. We needed that pitcher against this hitter. Yeah, really, that is real. His first ever splash hit by a right-handed hitter to tie the game in the ninth against one of the best closers in the major leagues right now. Sure, Posey should have hit it, but he didn't. That is the first time. How crazy is that? It's nuts, huh? It's pretty nuts. This is something I've been waiting for a long time to happen, so I'm glad that it did. Finally, I love it when stuff happens for the first time in major leagues. You know, the game's been around so long that, you know, who would have thunk? Who would have thunk? That's going to be some trivia gold right there. Not for a while, but yeah, it will be. All right. Secondly up, next in the news. This is crazy. But the Twins cut a guy they traded this year, full-on release him, like go home, don't come back, after he aids opponent in the elimination game in the minor league playoffs in high A. 6th-round draft pick out of Coastal Carolina, was tipping players off about what pitches were coming. He was catching. He's got great eye black. And he was basically just bullduring him and being like, "Hey, guy, here comes a fastball, here comes a curveball." Because one, they were playing a team. They're playing a team. I think there's playoff implications now. They were either going head to head with this team that whoever wins makes the playoffs, or the other team, they were trying to catch the other team and they wanted him to bear whatever it was. He was trying to lose so that they didn't make the playoffs and he could go home because he quote unquote wanted the season to be over. I want my signing bonus back. Shay, you didn't pay him. Actually, you know what's funny? Oh, no, he got released, so he gets to keep the money. Wow, $300,000. What? Oh, it was a playoff game. Oh, so they wanted to get eliminated. Where neither team wants to win. Okay, yeah. So let me be very clear here. I know this feeling, right? The minor league playoffs genuinely do not mean shit. They don't. But you can't tip pitches, idiot. First of all, if I'm his pitcher, you're getting the people's elbow, brother. Like I'm dropping you. Like we have an issue. This is going to be an issue. I'm dropping you, I say, as if I fought anybody ever, or I know how to, I know how to drop somebody. I just know how to be big. But it's those are fighting. That's a fighting situation. I don't condone that at all. Don't fight over your problems, guys, but we have an issue, and I'm going to let you know about it, and it's going to be loud and probably embarrassing for you and me. But if you tip my pitches when I'm pitching and it hurt my career, you're the worst. Wait. Brian Dinkelman's the Colonels manager? Oh, well, we're not talking about the Colonels. but Dink's my man. I like that guy a lot. That guy sucks. So he said he wanted the season to be over. I just want you guys to know this. Most, if not all, minor leaguers want the season to be over, especially when you're far enough away to where no one on the team's going to get called up for September. You just want to go home. I get that. I wanted to go home so badly my first year. And guess what? We won the GCL championship. I had to be there to the last day. It was a lot of fun, but it was one of those things like I'm gonna play my hardest, but if we lose, I'm not gonna be so beat up about it. Because I did want to go home. But I've been very honest about this. I've always wanted to go home at the end of the season. There's always been a little part of me, right? Even when I made the Major League playoffs, like it's like, yeah, let's go, let's do this. I'm gonna stay locked in, and I'm a competitor, and I'm excited. And once we get there, but I also know that there's going to be a certain level of relief when the season's over. Like you're like, you can relax, right? It's okay to like be like, let's go, let's play the playoffs, but also at the same time know that you want to go home and relax. Like it's okay to want to go home and relax in the playoffs. But it's easy in the moment just to get locked in. It's just easy. But like, of course, those two things happen. But like, you cannot tell the other team what's coming. That's crazy. So he got what he got. Good luck with your career, bro. It's probably over. Cheating. This isn't Bull Durham. You're not Crash Davis. You're not teaching Nick Lelouch to support you. And you know what? I'll be on. I'm going to tell you this right now. Even in that movie, that's not what should have happened. Crash shouldn't say, hey, just throw what I tell you to throw, because in the big leagues, you're not going to do that. You got to be able to call your own goddamn game. So if anything, Crash is making him not develop the way he's supposed to develop, and he's not putting him in a good position to be successful in the major leagues. So even then, it wasn't that good of an idea. It's funny for a movie, and it does happen, but it's not necessarily the best for a pitcher's development. So don't cheat. Don't cheat. Joe Mauer would never do anything out of line. Joe Mauer's the best. So yeah, hey kids, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right. Other news. This is the craziest. This is one of the funniest. I don't think it's the most or the funniest. Neither one of those words were the right ones. This is the wins above average. WAA. So basically 0 is average, guys. So this tells you where they are in terms of the league in wins above average for every single position. And it's WAAs, just think of it as like a similar as to WAR. So the number one WAR team is obviously 16.2. Second is Yankees with 11.7. So we said the Philadelphia Phillies are probably the most complete team in the major leagues all year. This shows it. But here's the crazy thing. The New York Yankees, for starting pitchers, and the White Sox have the same. That's nuts. The White Sox have the same wins above average as the Yankees. How crazy is that? And Crochet hasn't even thrown that well. Yeah. Have they done anything else well? No. But I'm surprised this is even so close, 22-26. But yeah, Fetty, they had good starting pitchers this year. They had some guys throw really well. They are god-awful in the bullpen, though. God-awful. The Royals have double the... Yeah. Somehow, well, this isn't WAR. This is wins above average. So, like, remember, if it's a different calculation, like the Pirates have had good... Like, this only has 2.8 for the Mariners, but the Mariners have statistically the best starting pitching staff. So, this is like... This is a result-based stat. Cleveland's bullpen at 6.7. Pretty dang good. Starting pitching, though, negative 4.9, which is interesting. Makes no sense for the record. Yeah, well, they scored just enough money, just enough runs to win. That's the thing. So, like, if you go look at their expected wins and losses, theirs will be lower. I think it's on here, actually. Let's see. This is scores. Let's go to standings. Yeah, so expected wins and losses. We go to Cleveland. They're 84 and 86. So they have 2 more wins than they're expected to have. Kansas City is 4 less wins than they're expected to have. So that's kind of what wins above average is kind of showing, right? Like the Phillies should have won 3 less games. The Mariners are up there. They're like 4 lower too, I think. Yeah, they're supposed to be 81 and 69. They're 77, right? So like Is FIP more important than ERA? Yes. Yes. Crochet is nearly a full run difference between FIP and ERA. Is his FIP lower? I always looked at FIP, but that was because my FIP was always better than my ERA, which is funny. Al Smizzle, the nicest of resubs. Love all the pitching content and breakdowns lately, especially the shorts. Hope everything is going great on your end. It is, man. Baby's almost here. Then I'm going to disappear for a couple weeks. But thank you, dude. 69 months. What a great year. What a great year. What a great month. What a great length of time. Thank you. A lot of you, I don't know if you saw it, did type 1 in the chat if you guys saw me finally post my first TikTok for Neptune pitching. So the offseason comes. When the offseason comes, this like live show, this right here, the stuff we're going to talk about is going to get more, it's going to get more like, we're going to break down, you know, rookies. We're going to talk about prospects some more. We're going to talk about free agency a lot, but like, it's just not going to be as much like news, because there's not going to be as much news, especially between the like end of the season and the end of the season and the winter meetings. Like, there's just no real news. Nothing freaking happens at all. It's all conjecture. So I want to get more into technical pitching and like do the pitching lessons thing a little bit and start to share little pieces. So I'm gonna do one of those things today. Show you one of the things that I do when I get ready for a season. Then I'm going to go put it on that channel. So that's going to be Neptune Pitching YouTube, and yet Neptune Pitching, that's Neptune, like spelt the way that the planet's spelled. And the reason that I call it Neptune is because I have a 3-prong system, and Neptune is the god. It's Poseidon. He had a trident. So that's where I went with that. I just thought Neptune was interesting and super nerdy and whatever. Shut up. Yeah. Yes. It's FIP. Guys, basically, wins above average is a predictive stat, so FIP is going to factor in. Full dive into the Dominican Winter League, possibly. And then as that proceeds, as I proceed with that, I start to get an idea of what guys want, and you know, we settle in with baby routine. Then I'm going to phase in possibly some like some Q&A, like a Discord Q&A where it's you go raise your hand, we do like a space, and you could ask questions, and I can demonstrate stuff on screen. Like, basically, it's just like a class where I make myself available, or I teach you about a concept, and you can attend it, or you can watch it later. Like, that's the type of thing that I think that I would like to do at first, because it aligns with everything else I do. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, go follow that channel. That is Neptune Pitching. Maybe I can pull it up right here for you. Worst pitcher names in history: Grant Balfour and Bob Walk. Homer Bailey. Yeah, but Homer was a nickname. I played with him. I asked him that question directly, and he said, yeah, it's just a nickname. It was like Harold or something. You prefer FIP or XFIP? I mean, FIP's what happened, and XFIP is what's supposed to happen. When it comes to FIP, I always would go with real FIP, because then FIP is used then to contrast ERA. So FIP is a number used to compare against the real one, so you can tell higher or lower, lucky or not lucky. Like, it's like a you want to start there. Hold on one sec. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, I got to pull up the talk. Hopefully it doesn't start playing right away. It will. Here you go. So this is it. This is what we're going to do. So make sure you follow this. That's wrong. Hey, I'm Trevor May. You may know me from this.
1-2 coming. And Sandoval goes down on strikes. 99 from May.
Or maybe this.
Pop up, and where is it? May's going to have to try and do it himself. And
possibly this. That, for me, shows that's a tip splitter. You tip that. Up until October 2023, I spent the prior 16 years. Dick Fitz? Excuse me? 10 seasons pitching in the major league. Pardon? 3 different teams. These days, however, I spend most of my time talking about baseball, breaking down things that are happening in baseball, complaining about base. And you can see most of that stuff here or here. This channel, however, yeah, go follow this channel, guys. Neptune Pitching. This is it right here. Go follow it. That's just the intro. We're gonna do one of them today, so I just wanted you guys to know that. Certain pitchers are less home run prone than others, which xFIP doesn't entirely factor from my understanding. True. Yes, home runs aren't as accurately predicted. True. Yes. Yeah, but I threw 99. That I wanted to throw me throwing really hard, showing me throwing really hard. That's Richard Lovelady. Don't you mean Dickie Love? Dickie Love. That's what we called him last year. Dick Fitz is a real guy who just got called up. He now. I thought that was a guy who played like in 1921. I thought for sure. I thought for show. Getting that for show. So, that channel is going to have lots of technical stuff. It's going to be paired with a Discord. It's just started. Just, I'm going to be reposting a lot of the other stuff that I taught from a technical baseball standpoint. And this is where I'm aiming to teach more about the intricacies of preparing the mental side of the game planning, pitch design, all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to be looking to collaborate with other people that know more about certain things than me and point you in the right direction. My goal is just to kind of participate in the young people getting better at baseball space, because I'll be honest, just like every single other industry, we live now where people that work in a certain thing or did a certain thing for a while, writers, pitchers, whatever, when they're done or they don't do that thing anymore, or they're not finding as much success doing just the thing by itself, they then go to teach it to other people. I saw this with writers. She's like, oh, I got a writing deal. Take my writing course, right? And she's like, she hasn't written any best-selling anything, right? So like, that's fine, but like that's happening. So I'm seeing this for baseball. A lot of guys are like, oh, I played pro ball. No, like I just saw recently a guy put out a video where he's throwing a knuckleball at the end. He goes, I threw a knuckleball at the end, which is the hardest pitcher to pitch to throw, and there's not a lot of guys to teach you. And I think that I'm one of the most qualified people you'll see. You'll find on how to pitch design. And I'm like, I don't know if that's true. So anyway, I see sometimes not the greatest advice putting out there as if it's not that it's not great advice. I want to rephrase this. There's things being put out in short form that need more context that I think the creator isn't being very smart about how they're communicating with kids, and they're teaching bad habits if not taken with a grain of salt, and they're being presented in a very YouTube way, and I it's just not, there's just too much nuance in baseball to leave that out. So I understand short form videos need to be a certain way and you're trying to grab attention or whatever, but I just see a lot of people making some claims that I don't like, and I don't want to leave the teaching of the next generation of players just to those people. Does that make sense? I hope so. I'm not trying to throw shade here. And there's no one specifically I'm thinking of. I've seen a lot of it lately where I'm like, I wouldn't send my kid to this guy, right? So, Wooder, what up, bro? How we doing? Scott blew it. That's a good one, too. That's a really good one. All right. So last week, we did our first ever. Underdog picks. So we're going to do another underdog pick today. Now, what? Whoa. No, Sportsbook's not where we want to be. Hold on. This is wrong. That's wrong. Don't go there. It's fantasy. We want to go to fantasy, not Sportsbook. There it is. Underdog fantasy is where we want to be. This is where we want to be. Also, you can go check out my merch. We got the JPT up there, exclamation point merch in the chat. If snapbacks aren't your thing and dad hats are more your thing, go check these out. We got the Flushing version out for our Mets fans out there. You want to rock something that's not straight up Mets and maybe a little bit cheaper? Not sponsored, not official merch, guys. Just the same color. Just punch tickets. That's what we do in this channel. Almost just accidentally gambled. Okay, so last week we picked 3, right? So the 3 we picked last week. So this is last Monday. We picked Mark Vientos for 1.5 hits for 1.5. So we took the over on 2 hits, runs, and RBIs combined for the game. We had Paul Skeens, more than 7 strikeouts. We took the over on that. We took the up. And then on Rutschman, Adley Rutschman, we thought he was going to get more than 8 points in fantasy. And of those, we hit 1 of 3. So I'll show you the ones we had here in a moment. Oh, my God. I did not mean to click that. What is happening? What is happening? The screenshot. I can't remember what the screenshot was. Was it on the desktop? Yes. That's wrong. That's not it. This one. This was the ones we picked. We got Skeens, Vientos, and Rutschman. I realized I forgot to get the actual higher lower on here. But we went 1 for 3. Unfortunately, the only one we hit was Skeens. Skeens had 9 Ks. So we're 1 for 3, and we're going to assume we're betting $10 every time. I didn't bet because in my state I can't at the moment. So I have to wait till I'm somewhere else. But that's what we're going to do. So we chose 3 last week. We only hit 1 of the 3. Yikes. Yikers. But this week, as we're going to check in on the NFL as well, because of course we are. First on MLB Pick'ems. We're doing the Pick'ems here on the channel. MLB. And this can be really interesting. I don't really know what the matchups are. I'm probably going to go with a Met every single time. Shohei's interesting. Max Fried, though, pitching today. This is a good one. Trev, do you know the dad hat sold out? No, I did not. I will re-up that. I'm so sorry. Really sorry. Did a great job with Rutschman. Rutschman's having a tough year, man. He's having a tough one. All right. So we take 1 offensive player, 1 pitcher, and then 1 flex, meaning the flex is just we pick the fantasy points line. We got Seth. Seth Lugo, 33 fantasy points. That's a lot. Okay, who we got pitching for the A's? Joey Estes. They have him going 5 2/3 or more. That's interesting. That is really interesting. You know what we're going to do, though? I'm going to do this for the flex. We're going Brent Rooker higher on the flex. We think he's going to get more than 7 fantasy points. Remember, what does that mean? What is he? How would he get 7? Hit a homer. Okay, cool. I think he's gonna hit a homer. Zach Wheeler for pitching. Okay, so we're gonna go Brent Rooker. Brent Rooker up for the flex. The pitching. It's Brewers. No Wheeler. Wheeler's not an option today. Interesting. Oh, Ranger Suarez is throwing today. We can do it tomorrow, but we usually pick the Mondays. So maybe we need a pitcher. What pitcher do we want? What pitcher do we want? Not doing with Blante. It's not happening. We got Arizona at Colorado. I think Senzatella going higher than 5 hits allowed. Is it Skeens again today? There's no way Skeens is pitching again today. Right? Right? Who do we want for pitchers? No, I'm not taking Yu Darvish against the Astros. That's definitely not happening. I'm gonna take Senzatella, giving up more than 5 hits. Skeens is? Wow. Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, he's boring. We're not taking him 2 weeks in a row. Senzatella is going to take a higher than 5 hits allowed because he's at home. And then for our hitter, we got Schwarber homer. No. Senzatella's first MLB start since Tommy John surgery. Yeah, but he probably won't go very deep. That's the thing. Ooh, that's kind of risky. This is risky. Whatever. We'll stick with it. And then hitters. Where's Riley Green? Someone mentioned Riley Green earlier. Is Torkelson hitting better, by the way? Yeah, it's versus Seth, though. I'm not confident in that. I am not confident in that. Under on Contreras. Ooh. Righty yeah, he hits lefties pretty good. A lot of singles and doubles. Got it. You're going Matt Bush. I'm gonna go with the higher hits and runs on Willy Adames. So I haven't taken Adames yet. So these are our 3 picks. We're gonna go higher on 3 because remember I'm a positive person. Brent Rooker, Antonio Senzatella, and Willy Adames. This is for Monday games. Assume there is $10 put on each one, and you get double. So it's double or nothing. Well, that's how I'm calculating it, guys. You can go here. You can go on Underdog. You can use code MCA. You can get a little $200 bonus plus the auto pick, the special pick every week. I need to get a screenshot of this real quick. 1 second. Chat, what is screenshot again? I never can remember, dude. Oh, I got it. We got it. Never mind. Yay. Window snip. Yeah. We got it. Cool. Trevor, did you realize Castellanos homers on tragic days? I did. I'm actually doing a video about it. Rooker's been hot. Did you know that Brent Rooker and Lawrence Butler have actually been more productive than Juan Soto and Aaron Judge since July 1st? Did you know that, chat? That's nuts. Isn't that nuts? Isn't that peanut butter and nutty nuts? What was the line on Parker Meadows? Now I want to know. Parker, where's Parker Meadows at? Where's he at? Where's he at? Can you imagine if the Tigers made the playoffs? Now that would make me sad because that would mean the Twins didn't. So let's not root for that. But wait, where was it? Did I skip it? I went by it. I literally just didn't I? I saw Tigers. Oh yeah, right here. Yeah, Parker Meadows 1.5 hits. Parker's a good pick. Nah, we're going with Adames. I like Adames today against Ranger. Lefty on righty. He also hits down better than up. So I like this matchup. I think he's going to go off. Tigers have a chance. They own the tiebreaker with Seattle, but not Minnesota. They do have a chance. Yeah, it's just there's too many teams going for too few spots, which is weird to say when 12 of the 30 teams make it. Senzatella will probably be on a pitch count. He definitely will, but it just depends on what it is. It's probably 75 pitches. I don't know. I feel like it's a big push. It's just it's freaking Arizona rakes, and it's in Colorado. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you. You know. So we're gonna do this. This is what we're doing. Use code MCA to sign up, guys. Use code MCA. I want to see what the special picks are. I think right now the promos. Let's look at the promos. Actually, 10% profit boost. Boost the profit of your entry. $10 max. That's pretty cool. That reminds me of like the 25% more experience in Call of Duty. I love that. Vulture protection. Protect your running back. I love that. Refer a friend, and you can also go refer a friend, guys. You can get up to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash at the moment. Excuse me. Is there a special pick? Let's check if there's a special pick, especially in the NFL. Obviously, this is big in the NFL, right? By the way, the special pick is like basically if they get a catch, if they get one thing, you win. And there's a new one every week. I don't know what this week's is because I can't find it. But it'd be interesting. But if you want to sign up, guys, even if you already have an account activated, but you haven't deposited yet, you can still take advantage of this promotional deal. Code MCA, that's capital M, capital C, capital A. When you check out with your promo code, when you sign up, go to underdogfantasy.com, do the sign up thing, use code MCA. Thank you so much. That is me. That is me, and that is the rest of the people at MCA. And by the way, it looks really good when we get signups, guys. And it would mean a lot to me if this is something you do or you use or something you've been thinking about doing. Underdog does a great job. So I would highly recommend it. Thank you. If Minnesota goes under 500, that is our last picks. Let's see how these do. We'll check in on those next week. That is if I am here and don't have a baby. All right. Next up. Tigers still have 3 with Kansas City and 3 with Baltimore. All right, before we move on, and before I use the restroom, who should we break down this week outside of Kumar Rocker? Because I want to do a breakdown. I think it's going to be great. I'm very excited. He has really interesting movement. Did you hear about the Royals minor league closer with 59 saves? Excuse me? Is he okay? My bias, Brant Herter. I don't know. Who does Brant Herter play for? Robert Suarez, because he has to be tipping? We could check in on Robert Suarez because since last week we checked on him then and things were a little different. Things have gotten crazy. Padres Productions, are you talking about Robert? Kikuchi's been bonkers. Really easy to explain Kikuchi. We can do him too. We can check in on him. The difference between what he's done and what's the last two. Well, Pete Alonso hit a home run night game. Who do they play again? Phillies? No, they're not playing the Phillies. I thought they had a wraparound, by the way. Tigers almost got no hit in the bullpen game. Happens, man. Bullpens are nasty. What do you mean? Brant Herter went 5.2 innings, 0 hits in relief. That's called a piggyback, guys. The Royals minor leaguer. 105 Ks to 10 walks. Why is he still in the minors is my question. And what level did he play at? Nats and Mets. Got it. Nats next week. Got it. Wrap around next week. Cool. All right. I like, we can go over Pete. We can do these things. I have these written down. Kumar Rocker is going to be our big one, but all right. So today's teaching moment. I want to teach you guys something. We're going to teach you. So this is for the kids. Maybe you'll find this interesting. Oh, he's 18 in AA. That's probably why he's not in the big leagues. So this is today's teaching moment. This is for the young pitchers out there. We won't go too crazy long with this. I just want to really quickly show you a concept that I think every pitcher, no matter how old they are, should be doing consistently. I would do one of these going into every single season. And when I do pitching lessons with kids or when I talk to kids about pitching and they ask me about tips, like how do I, get better at throwing strikes, or how do I learn to, what to throw when, or how to read hitters, whatever. This is the key to learning how to pitch is something you're going to hear from every pitching coach forever in some way, shape, or form. You're going to hear this at every level. as you go, as you continue to play, this is not just pitchers. This is also hitters. This is just a common sports phrase. Learn yourself. Learn who you are. Like, do the things you do best. Do what got you there. You're going to hear all this stuff. Like, this all assumes a high-level understanding of yourself and what makes you successful. Okay? So, what does that mean? Like, where do we start here? God, you guys have such good questions here. I want to start answering these questions, but I really want to get this out. So I'm gonna shelf your questions there for a second. How do you learn yourself? And what does learning yourself mean? And I do it in a pitching way. I try to get kids to think about, what do I do the best? And how do I know? And then what do I do with that information, basically? What do I do the best? And what do I do with that information? So here's what we got, all right? This is called a spots, guys. So I call this a spots diagram. And I do one of these every single year before I report to the season. And this is kind of how to lock into my head exactly what I do well and what I don't do well and things I want to work on. So the premise here is I ask every kid, hey, if I gave you, I just pick an amount of money that's a lot to that person. I like to, for big leaguer, I'll give you $1,000. You get to pick one spot on the strike zone. This is a grid. I just whip this up real quick. You get to pick one spot to throw your fastball. And if you hit that spot within 2 inches, so tell me where it is. If you hit the spot, if you hit the glove, you get $1,000. Where would you choose? Okay. So what goes into that? A bunch of stuff. You just think, okay, like if I need to throw a fastball like in a game, where would I pick? And what I'm forcing you to do is make this stuff top of mind. Like, make you say it out loud. So first I'll go. So I'll do it for me, right? This is four seam. Four seam fastball. We'll do four seam fastball first. And I think I can make this a different color. Or highlight it with a different color or something. I actually don't know how to make this a different color. Can I make this another color? Does anyone know how paint works, guys? Anyway, I'm just going to do this then. Why is this not red? There we go. There we go. That's what I wanted. Bro, are you kidding? What? Oh my. I'm having a great time. Are you guys having fun? Holy shit. Bro, why does paint not have any controls? Anyway. Yeah, I don't know how this works. There we go. Now it's working. Four seam. All right. This is the four seam. Bro, are you kidding? So I can undo and I can't redo. Cool. I'm having so much fun. Who's having fun? Raise your hand. Okay, four seam. Four seam fastball. And then we're just going to click over here, here, and here. Okay. So four seam fastball. Where can I throw mine? This. I can hit this spot all day, every day. So if I'm going to create a spots and someone asks me that question, I'll be like, okay, this is where I can execute up here. I know this is where I can throw my four seam. Okay. Okay. Now slider. We need a different color for slider. How about we go blue? Slider. Click off. This is my gyro slider, so let's do this. This is where I wanted to throw this every single time. Slider. Changeup. Where can I throw the changeup? And I'll talk about these in a second. Change up. Change. Click off. I'm going to say this stuff out loud or it won't happen. This is where I can throw my change up every time. Boom. And then we'll go sweeper, which will be just like a lighter color blue. Because I threw that last year. So, sweeper. Click off. And I want the sweeper to be there. Okay? This is looking at the plate from the mound. Yes, it is. So imagine this is you are facing the mound, and these are where your pitches are going to go. So if someone asks me this question, this is what I do. I go, hey, here's where I want my clustering to be for the rest of the year. So this is how this works. When I make this, I think at the end of the year, if I go look at my Savant, I want my clusters of fastballs to be mostly in these spots. Now I go, okay, this is my top-down view, the biggest, widest range of pitches I can come up with. This is me understanding where all of my pitches are going to go and how to throw them. Then I determine tunnels. Okay? So if I'm throwing fastballs, for example, if I'm throwing fastballs here constantly, my changeups are going to end up, if I throw out of this exact tunnel, or maybe just this top quadrant, my changeups will be here, my sliders will be here, and my sweepers will be about here, right? Does that give me all of the spots that I can hit? Generally, yeah. In reality, this is probably where my target should be, because every pitch I throw will be in the zone, generally where I want it to be. If I need a strike and I need a target, this is that target. So then I'd have Shea set up here every freaking time and throw every pitch off of it. And that's what happened. Does this flip depending on batters lefty or righty? So that's the next step, KBT. But the first thing we want to know is, where can you throw these pitches? Okay? Where can you throw these pitches? Where can you throw these pitches? Then you take this and you say, where do you want to throw the pitches? Like I just did. So you go, where can I throw them? How does that line up for where I want to throw them? Is there anything I need to adjust that way? Meaning, like, I throw my fastball up and in a lot. Do I want to throw my fastball in up a lot, or is that something I need to fix? And I do that for each pitch. So I go, okay, how am I feeling about these options, and do they work well together? If the answer to that stuff is yes, I take this sheet with me into the season, and I start with this as my template for how I'm going to determine what I'm going to throw to people. So I go based on, these are my strengths, and then I go take this idea and go figure out what the weaknesses are. So if a kid is 10, if a kid is 18, if a kid is 20, they should be doing what are my strengths spots diagrams before every single every single season, to lock in, these are my strengths right now. Right now, these are my strengths. And every time one of those things changes, update it. So if you want to purposely miss the strike zone, what do you change? So that's mechanical, but I will say, change your target. And at the end of the day, if I'm trying to elevate, right? If I'm trying to go up here, instead of aiming here, like instead of seeing that as my target, like if Shea gives me a target right here, but he wants it higher than that, I will zone in my sights on his mask instead of his glove. So if I'm usually here, if this is my first choice usually, I'll make this. I'll adjust it to that to get it above here, and then it should land up here, right? Prime example. This is the gyro slider. I want that to be below the zone. I want the sweeper to go off the plate. I want the changeup to go down and in. You notice I want the fastball to go up. If I'm trying to go fastball over here, I want it to go up. You notice where all these arrows are painting? These are how these pitches move. If these are the spots I'm going for, all of the misses will be away from the middle as opposed to towards the middle. So all of these are if I'm in the zone, great. That is an A. That is plan A. Plan B is I throw it's out of the zone and it won't hurt me. Now, will that create more walks? Generally, yes. But you'll also give up less contact. So that's your trade-off. And this is just how I thought. Your goal here when you're a kid is to figure out what you want, how your pitches move. And how do you figure out your pitches move? We'll talk about that another day. This is a spots diagram. Highly recommend doing it. And on the flip side, what I would do is take another one of these after I pitched and go through each pitch because I can remember what my targets were based on this. Like, I'm like, I tried to go up in there. Did I hit up and in? Cool. Give myself a point. And I'll give myself a rating for how well I commanded that day based on this. Boom. All right. Now, I can do some clarification on... Actually, no. We'll keep this up. LOL, you found MS Paint. I did. It was free. For breaking pitches, are you typically looking where you start the pitch or where you want it to break to, if that makes sense? I try to think about the start where it starts. So again, this is the last half of last 4 months of last year. Best thing I ever did was the one spot. This was the only place Shea ever put his glove for the rest of the season. And then if I threw pitches there, if I thought this is my main target and I wanted everything to come out of this tunnel, these things took care of themselves. But that's 10 years of experience in the major leagues and 16 overall. So remember that. But like this spot allowed the sweeper to get there, the slider to get there, and the changeup to get there, and the fastball to get there. Like this spot allowed me to get to these 4 spots with everything else. So I just try to start everything there. Think like I'm throwing a fastball there with whatever grip I have. Now that comes with experience. It takes a lot of practice. But my brain wasn't in the way. And when my brain got out of the way, it suddenly got much easier to do. So if that answers your question. When you were drafted, did it work this way or did you follow your wants? Are you kidding me? No, when I was drafted, I did not work this way. I didn't know this shit at all. No one ever told me this. No one told me this at all. I still don't know anyone who does this. Like, I know some guys that do it, but like this was one of the ways I got ready, and it just made it as simple as possible. And I find that younger kids understand this because it makes you write down. It's like you're practicing making the decision yourself, and you have to know the information to make the decision. And you can't make one of these unless you know. And you can't make decisions unless you know what you do. So it's almost like forcing you to do it in a very simple, 4-year-olds can do this. This is really easy. Is the one target strategy good for everyone? It's a good place to start, Anthony. But if your stuff doesn't move a lot, then you can go the other way. You can basically want everything to end in a spot and start them in different areas. That's called Xing or I call it anti-tunneling. No one else really does. But they call it cross, guys. It's called cross pitching, meaning you're throwing out of different tunnels and ending at the same place as opposed to tunneling, starting at the same place and splitting off on the way there. One isn't necessarily better than the other, but determining which type of guy you are is how you understand literally getting numbers on how stuff moves. But yes, I would highly recommend, especially like if you're 12, just do the one spot thing. Do the one spot thing because you'll throw more strikes. And when you're that young, all you have to do is throw strikes. This guy hung them up because he would rather do this nonsense. I was doing this nonsense while I was playing. Also, guys, don't go into people's streams and talk to the room like I'm not here. It's the weirdest thing ever. Nobody likes that guy. Imagine that guy. The guy who walks in like, look at this guy. Imagine that guy. Imagine that person, how cool that is and how many friends they have. So, that's all I'm saying. That's what you sound like. Yes, I would rather teach the game than play it right now. Just because you can't understand doesn't mean that it is not valid. So yeah. Boom. Hey, what up, Ebony? What do you gain from coming here to dunk on a guy, trying to dunk on the guy who's talking baseball with people? Yeah. I don't know. Now, it's just, guys, people can't wrap their mind around leaving money on the table, which I understand. So I'm going to try to be kind here about this and just say, I understand it is weird. I understand why it's weird. I understand why it's weird to leave money on the table, especially when it's in the millions of dollars. So there's no guarantee that I would have even gotten a contract. I might have been signed to a minor league deal. I don't even know. But you have anything left in the tank? Yeah, I probably could play 2 or 3 more years. I could definitely still pitch. I just didn't want to. Yeah, there's something interesting about like actually just doing something because you decided to, and as opposed to feeling like you have to do it because everyone else thinks you should. There's something pretty empowering about making that decision for yourself. I liked it. It was a decision made between me and my family, and now I'm super excited to meet my son. So, and I didn't want to do that during a season because I don't want to have my attention split. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be able to do a paternity leave, and you can't do that in the major leagues. You get 3 days. You get 3 days, and you don't get any more opportunities for the year. So, and I don't want to put it all on my wife. That's what happened. Not only that, I would have been paid way less money this year, no matter how I pitched it last year. I only threw 94.7 on average last year, guys. So, just go look at Joey Votto. So Joey played until the game said, "Hey, dude, you're not good enough," and he took that. He's taking it in stride, but you can tell it's really painful for him to think that and feel that and realize that. And some guys really, really struggle. Really, really, really struggle with the identity when it's out of their control. It's not their decision. The game's telling them, "Hey, don't come back," and that sucks. Watching yourself kind of just fall apart sucks. But then there's guys who just like to be around and they kind of slowly transition into coaches, and they're okay with that. For example, I don't want to say transition to coaches, but a guy who was just like really just loved being around and really just wanted to talk about pitching and be there for guys, but knew he was just like barely hanging on was Tommy Hunter. But he was just different than me. Like, he loved that. He truly loved it, and I can't fault anyone for wanting to hang on as long as humanly possible, because the pay is pretty crazy good too. Like, of course, if you can get another year of money to do not very much, then do it. I don't blame anyone for wanting that. It just wasn't for me. But I'm having fun. I mean, this isn't my full-time job. I just like doing this. And yeah, it becomes a job. At some point, no matter what you do, there's people who make movies. There's people who you think have the greatest jobs ever. Even people who are just influencers for a living, right? People who just like even if being attractive is your job, right? And that seems like the easiest thing on the planet. But imagine thinking that you have to stay attractive or you're not worth anything forever, right? It's the same. Like, of course, everything has a shadow side. Everything has the dark side of that coin. You're going to get to a point where, yeah, it was great, but now I don't know what to do. And that's, just ask Tom Brady. By the way, how the shit are you going to pay Tom Brady $350 million before you know how good of a commentator he's going to be? That boggles my mind. Another who didn't want to leave the clubhouse. I get it. I get it. Most people like to be around. I miss the clubhouse, but not enough to continue. Is he any good? It was a really bad first week. But like, it's so funny. So I saw this news, right? I saw everyone out here dunking on Tom. Everyone's dunking on Tom Brady. Everyone's freaking out, yelling into their microphones on, a lot of New York, New York radio, whatever. He's terrible. He doesn't know what he's doing. And it was bad. It was jarringly bad. But I was like, hey, man, God, this is hard. It's hard to figure out where the cadence is. It's hard to figure out what you're supposed to say. It's hard not to go into the details. It's hard to figure out how much time you have to make your point while not like rambling. It's hard. That said, I didn't know he was being paid $35 million to do it. That's crazy. Crazy. That's insane. I can't think what Pat McAfee got what like 50 million over 4 years. Everyone's like, what are we doing? Who made that decision, Fox? You're idiots. No, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know about the 35 minutes, so now I'm going to be critical. Screw you, dude. I don't care how many Super Bowls you won. That does not guarantee you're going to be good at this. That doesn't guarantee you're going to be a good coach. There's lots of the greatest baseball players in history were bad coaches. Like, he could not bring enough to the table. There's nothing he could bring on the table in terms of being a broadcaster that is worth $35 million compared to the other broadcasters. He's making like 100 times more than everybody else. Like, that's the difference for me. It's not that he shouldn't be making a couple million bucks. 35? He has to be making the most. There's no way anyone's making that much money. There's no way. Name recognition? Yeah, okay. No one's bigger than the game, man. I don't give it doesn't matter if you're the greatest of all time. The GOAT quarterback, still not worth enough. Your name recognition, the longer we get from him playing, the less people are going to care. It's just the nature of being an athlete. Now, I think the worst thing on the planet for that I think Tom's scared. I think Tom's biggest fear in the world is being irrelevant, and I think that's why he inserts himself into everything now. I'm getting real Brett Favre vibes, big time. But I get it. The greatest players of all time, they get used to being the man. Hell, no one gave a shit about me when I played, like as a player, and I still was like, I kind of miss a little bit of the status of being a player. I do miss it a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. Romo's good at it. I mean, Tom's good at it too. He can call out plays and stuff, right? He can say, here's the thing. Cam Newton did this thing too. Being a quarterback and calling out like blitzes and plays, like, is the easiest thing on the planet for them to do. And it's like the names of plays and things are intentionally complicated to confuse just in case someone hears them. So like, of course the people at home be like, oh, that's crazy. Like, Romo's also said this. He's like, guys, when I was calling plays, I could always narrow it down to like, it was going to be between like 2 to 4 plays. Lots of playbooks, they're different, but the plays are just variations of each other based on personnel. There isn't as much variation in playbooks as we think there is. And he's like, there's actually not as many options as people think there is right now. But I sound like a genius. He knows that. I've done it too. I've guessed pitches. I've guessed exactly what's going to happen in an AB. And I was like, that's crazy. There's not that many options. Once you do it enough, you know. Correct. Even Brady has a YouTube channel now. None of these things, which he has a team that does everything. Is it deplorable what MLB did to Trevor Bauer? Deplorable? I mean, unprecedented, yeah. Deplorable? He's not the first person to be mistreated by them. Or he's not the first person to be rejected by the league because nobody's, like, a lot of people aren't happy with him. Barry Bonds, same thing. So, no, I will say it's not deplorable. I wouldn't use the word deplorable. Is it questionable use of power? Is it a bad sign for punishment in the future? Yes, to both of those things. But was it out of left field that he was treated that way? It didn't surprise me as much as it surprised a lot of people. Chapman and Domingo still around. Those are not the same situations, and you know it. They also don't constantly insert themselves into narratives. So remember, what does Chapman not do? What does Domingo not do? What do they not do? They don't go after the MLB constantly. This is just facts. This is not me giving, because I went after the MLB all the time, chat. And guess what? If I had done something where they could get me in trouble, they would have hammered me with it, probably. Probably. Because I was critical of them. That's the thing that's happening. Is that right? No, of course it's not right. But we stop acting like it's an isolated incident, because it isn't. Remember, we had the sticky stuff thing, right? We had the drone thing. We had the throwing the ball over the center field fence thing. We had the rap diss song of Diamondbacks. Like, he's always been open to publicly going after and trying to punk on teams and the league. I agree with a lot of the things he said. I also feel the same way, but he gave him an inch. He gave him a crack in the door, and they just took a mile, and that's what they do. The drone thing, remember when he cut his hand in the playoffs because he was playing with his drone? Was he that disliked by his teammates? Some of them. Not everybody. I don't want you to think that, like, he walked in the clubhouse, everyone went quiet. But, there's guys who were just like, nah, out on him. It was tired. They didn't like the act or whatever. But had he been my teammate, I bet you I would have really enjoyed talking about pitching with him. Yeah, exactly. So remember the arbitration thing, and it was 69-420, 69-420. These things seem harmless, but they add up. They're like every single time something happens with Trevor, there's a mockery. It's like a big thing. It's like there's always a thing. There's always a mockery made. There's always something, right? And I know that stuff kind of leveled out. But you remember he did the beer thing. Like, none of this stuff is like bad on its face. It's just like when you run a team, you're like, I don't want to deal with this stuff, right? Like, I just don't want to deal with this. It just becomes like this. All right, like, and I'm not saying the other guys who have gotten in trouble for DV should be around. That's a whole nother thing. But what they don't do is all of that stuff. So it's like, don't give them an excuse, frankly. And that's how it worked out. That's all I'm saying. That's it. So, like, it's just not surprising. It's kind of stupid, but it's not surprising. So, Greg Olson is the best color guy in football. That doesn't surprise me one bit. Which team does Olson work with? Is he with the Panthers? As weird as Agent Luba also represented Puig. Now from outside looking at Puig seemed horrible to be around. Yes, I mean, another guy who just disappeared before he was, like, not good enough. You know what I mean? Interesting. It's also the nature of social media, right? He's a very active social media user, and he has a big following. And when you feel that way, you have a certain level of influential power. You can try to throw that power around a little bit, and he's done that in the past as well, right? He has. This is not an indictment of anything. Like, I do whatever you want. He's doing whatever you want. These actions leading to consequences like this make a lot of sense to me. Whether or not it's fair or not, I'm not going to make a comment on, because who knows? You can make a case both ways, but it just I don't know. Didn't Brady take over for Olsen? Ooh, he did. Wow. Since his stall was besides yours in NY, did you say stall? You mean locker? Olsen's number 2 behind Brady? What's Olsen being paid? Probably $400 an episode, like everybody else. Has McNeil always looked like he killed a village for breakfast? Bro, I do not know what any of that means, Brian. What the hell did you just say? What are you talking about? All right. I thought this would be fun. I saw a great article. Let's do our main story for the day. Maine. What is the timing on that? That is crazy. Thank you for the rave. Dude, I literally hit this at the exact same time. The chances of that are so low, I can't even imagine. That was nuts. Olsen makes $3 million. Dude, I gotta work for Fox. What the? Hey, Fox. Just kidding. That was just a joke. In your experience, was there goof athletic trainers or bad trainers in the show, or are they all elite? They're all elite, Christopher. Nobody can get there without being elite. There comes a situation, though, sometimes when guys have been there for a long time, they become the head guy, that they don't do as much. They do more like administrative work and like managing of all the other trainers, and that's most of their job. But that's just part of their job. So sometimes the transition would go from you're working with someone on the table a lot, and then the next year they've moved up, and so they don't do that stuff as much. So I'd say those guys are worthless. But yeah. It's because I'm in the wrong sport, guys. The real money is in football. Anyway, our main story. Welcome to your baseball slang masterclass. A guide to talking like you're in an MLB clubhouse. Look at you. Look at me. Now look at you. Now look at me. Now look at you. Now look at me. Now look at you. Now look at me and say thank you. Okay? Will we do Nasty's pitches today? Actually, let me check real quick. How many pitches do we have? Don't look at that. No, wait. No, we did them last week, right? So basically, I do these every other week so that we can edit the video. So we give ourselves time to edit the video. So the other one's being edited. But we only have 5 pitches in here. So we need more nasty pitches so we can do this next week, guys. So please. And we're also going to do an aggregate one for the whole year. So keep these coming. Go into the Discord and do that. Thank you. This was an article written by Tyler Kepner. Shout out to Tyler for my colleague at The Athletic. I work with The Athletic for Rates and Barrels. Tyler wrote this on September 3rd. He went through the baseball clubhouse. He got a bunch of slang terms and got them explained. And I am going to continue to put these into perspective for you. I thought this would be interesting. You want to talk like a baseball person? Then you'll have to curse a lot. Is that true? Yes, it is. Swearing is integral to being a Major League Baseball player. Not everyone swears. For example, Kyle Gibson doesn't swear. He'll just be on the mound going, shoot, dang it. And he reminds me of Kip from Napoleon Dynamite. If you know, you know. Have you ever been to Maine? I have. I've been to Portland many times. 5, 6, 7, 8 times. First, just add a Y to everyone's names. Yeah. So we call someone something else all the time. Teeny Bert, 32 months. Thank you so much. Welcome back. Ant, I think I got you, but I'm going to say it again. Thank you so much for the Prime sub. And also, Danny ordered a hat. Look at you, Danny. Wow. Guys, thank you so much for ordering stuff on Fourth Wall. Merch, X-Boy Smart merch in the chat. You can go get your own JPD / Just Punch tickets, stickers, and such, and hats. There's a lot of stuff in there. Hats and shirts. So, yes, throw a Y at the end of everyone's name. I'm Mayy, so it's M-A-Y-Y. People called me Mazer. People called me May. People just called me May. Very few people called me Trev. Chris, how we doing, man? I hope the video is going well. The movie's going very well. Thank you for the sub. Can I get some Team A ones in the chat? Ones or maybe dances or maybe even some juice. I don't know. Whichever one you want. Ordered a t-shirt for your dad. Thank you. Dad's hat is sold out. Pick one up, my brothers, to stock it back up. Cool. I think that's just a setting I got to turn off, but it's all good. All right, so let's look into this. A lot of it's not very PG, said Seth Lugo. Ex-teammate of mine. He wants to hit balls in the back here, so him will say, steak dinner. Lugo said, first time told him that, he's like, what's that? I was like, RBI, ribeye, steak dinner. So whatever he's hitting balls, he's going steak dinner. So a steak is a common euphemism for RBI. Right? So someone goes, man, I went 0 for 2 today. I'm pissed off. I'm like, yeah, but you had 2 steaks, 2 sack flies. That works. That's put in a sentence for you. Steaks, RBIs, steaks. Another one from Adam Ottavino. Another ex-teammate. I sat in the bullpen with both of these guys. The one thing about baseball slang, though, is that a lot of it applies only to baseball. When a teammate strikes out a hitter with a fastball, you might salute it by yelling, doors! You may have heard me say that. Blowing doors off. Think about it this way. Think about a missile or something fast moving past a car or past like a house. Like think Roadrunner running past a dwelling in Looney Tunes and the doors flying off. Doors. Blowing doors off means it's going so fast that everything behind it, it pulls the doors off everything when you run by. Blowing doors. And so Ottavino and I would be like, a guy would like get blown away, like be late. We'd be like, Louisiana Bayou? Another thing, another way to say pitch blown by somebody. Louisiana. I'd be like, Louisiana. And they'd be like, Bayou. That's another one. But guy gets blown away with the fastball, be like, doors. Like that's just a common baseball euphemism. We haven't gotten to the list yet. Go sit in the truck. I say that one a lot. Go sit in the truck. It's so funny because I think I said that so much that he started saying a little more. I think that go sit in the truck is a common one. I've heard that since I was a rookie, but like we said it a lot. And then if you struck out the side, it'd be go sit in the truck, go sit in the back, go sit in the trunk. So basically you got to sit in the front seat, then you got to sit in the back seat, then you got to sit in the trunk because you got struck out 3 times. That's an older reference. Yeah. Go sit in the truck. But what it refers to is when you're a kid, when you're a kid and you're in trouble, like you get in trouble in public or something, like at a game or like you know, you're in trouble. Your dad be like, go sit in the truck. Like you're in trouble. So basically, like I'm your dad, and I tell you what to do. Go sit in the truck. So like I'm your dad is also another term used. I had a friend, a player that I used to play with. He is, I think he has 80% hearing loss in both ears. Tyson Gillies. And he used to be like, I'm your dad all the time. He said it to umpires to where they were so confused. They didn't know whether or not they should throw him out. And that is all connected. Go sit in the truck is like the next level. So you got to follow these threads to know how these get going. But go sit in the truck is your dad yelling at you because you struck out 3 times. Just go sit in the truck. You're embarrassing, which is actually probably really toxic and not good. Okay. Go sit in the truck. One of those things where your dad would get mad at you and tell you to go sit in the car. Yeah. Okay. Cheese, Uncle Charlie, walk off, golden sombrero, platinum sombrero. Do you guys know what these are? Walk off is, obviously the hit that ends the game. Cheese is a fastball or velocity. Uncle Charlie is a curveball. Golden sombrero is 3 strikeouts. Platinum sombrero is 4 strikeouts. No, wait. Golden sombrero is 4 strikeouts. Platinum sombrero is 5 strikeouts. 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts in a game. And then 3 is the hat trick. Yeah, 3 is a hat trick, just like in soccer. But bad, not good. Those ones are easy. But what about those distinctive baseball expressions that can only apply to the larger world where they sound laughably out of place? If you're in a game, you know the feeling. So here's the way I do it, and I use all these things in real life. Kate loves that. Kate loves that. So I'm gonna use these are disparaging comments, but I'm gonna tell you this story anyways. We used to call, okay, so there's 2 situations. When you get 3-0 on a guy, and then, so for a hitter, if you get 3-0 and then they come back and strike you out, we had a term for that. And then as a pitcher, if you got 0-2 and then ended up throwing 4 balls and walking them. So if you go 0-2 to a walk as a pitcher or 3-0 to a strikeout as a hitter, we had 3-0 to Miguel Sano. I know. I love you. Like, I love Miguel, but like, he did do that a lot. So that was a little bit of a joke. 3-0 to Miguel Sano. And then I had a guy I played with in AA named Bruce Pugh with the Twins, and 2-0 to Bruce Pugh was the other one. And I didn't make that one up. That was made up by a pitching coach, and it was just a way to make fun of him. And they used to say that directly to his face. So 0-2 to Bruce Pugh and 3-0 to Miguel Sano. Not nice, making fun of your teammates, but funny nonetheless. Okay, and I like this one too. So this is so funny. So scouting, how you scout players, everything. They would basically put out a sheet, and the scouting report would have a sheet, right? And they'd have all these categories. It's like a survey. This is like old school. This still happens a little bit at the beginning, and then it gets a little bit more expanded. But like guys would go watch them, and they would be like, you'd rate things on a score from 20 to 80. So 80 is like it has potential to be the best version of that in the league. So it could be star level. 60 means good, well above average. If you run 60s across the board, you're going to be a really good player. 20 means well below average, bad, worst you can fucking find. And then like, so 40 is like middle, right in the middle, or 45 is like middle. So about average. So you want to be a little bit above average and everything. So you can be like, for pitchers, it's each pitch gets a rating. For hitters, it's like speed tool, field tool, arm, bat to ball skills, power, like all this stuff. They give them ratings. So if you see these things in scouting reports, it's 20 to 80. But then people use 20 to 80 to like rate everything. So you'd be like, oh, dude, I'll tell you one thing. I'll give that a 75, dude. That's a 75 restaurant. That does happen. So that's also interesting. And also, we don't say how fast did that go? How fast is that pitch? When people say that, they don't know ball. It's what's your velo? We use the word velo, short for velocity. Velo instead of fast. If you say fast, you are a pleb. Don't say fast. How fast was that pitch? My brother-in-law does that. I'm like, you mean what was the velo? How hard was it? You either say hard, what was the velo? Never say how fast was it. We ain't fast too furious, dude. We ain't driving cars here. What up, Brad? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Which that's funny. By the way, this from Derek Falvey, who is the current president of baseball operations for the Twins. Another guy that I know, which is funny. It's like how much I know. This looks like prior experience. I think that Derek got in trouble for this early in his career. This is funny. This sounds like trauma. He was this one time. I said it, and I got destroyed. I got flamed out for it, and now I don't say it like that. I love it. I love it so much. Well, there are a couple ways to change that. You could spend a bulk of your life embedded in dugouts, clubhouses, front office, or you could read our back-to-school primer. Read this back-to-school primer with 20 tips. Oh, there's 20 tips. Let's check out the tips, all right? All right. Let's go through some of these terms that he found. First one, bang. Not what you think. So a loud bang, it could be either hitting something, the act of banging on something, or hearing something. So it could be a noun, it could be a sound. In baseball, though, it means to cancel or postpone a game. So whenever basically, here's how a rain delay works. It's raining. Everyone's sitting in the clubhouse doing this. Please cancel. Please cancel the game. Please cancel the game. I want to go home. Please, please bang it. Please bang it. And then when it eventually gets banged or gets canceled, your manager will walk into the clubhouse and be like, "Game's banged. We're playing a doubleheader tomorrow. First game's at 1. Get some rest, idiots." Like that's basically how it works. So canceling something means bang it, or it can an alternate term which isn't listed here. When your team goes out and bangs, that means they're raking, they're hitting. Raking, another one. To be really good at hitting, and to have a lot of power. So raking means this team hits really well, but if the team bangs, that means they hit really well with power. So they have the ability to hit a lot of home runs. For example, in 2019, the Minnesota Twins lineup, bang, bro. So there's a common use of banging. Boat race. There's a new one. So I wasn't familiar with boat race until I went to the Twins. We didn't say boat race very much with the Phillies for some reason. It's funny. Every organization kind of develops their own slang, and then guys use it some guys use stuff more than others, and then it becomes a whole thing. Boat race means one team is winning by a lot. One team is pulling away to rout another team. So to boat race them means they put up 6 runs in the second, then just boat raced us. We got boat raced. We got destroyed. We got crushed. We got killed, and it wasn't even close. Because boat races are often like that. Speedboat races are often like that. We were in the same. So here's Worlds Collide. We were the same height until middle school. Then he grew up to be 6'10", and then he just boat raced me and became 6'10". Boat race. You use boat race, guys. It's great. It's a lot of fun. Matt Quattro. I love this guy's name. When you're in a playoff race, it's very rare that you just go boat race everybody, get out to a huge lead. True. Quattro. True. And it's so funny. He just casually used boat race, and everyone's like, what the hell does that mean? That's what that means. Eye wash. Everyday meaning, an eye lotion. Excuse me? There's eye wash. There's eye lotion referred to as eye wash. I've never heard that ever. Also, eye wash is literally like, remember in science class in high school, you had the station where if you got a chemical in your eye, you washed your eyes out with it? Remember that? What the hell is eye lotion? I don't know. False hustle. False hustle or someone doing something for show. So false hustle's one, it doesn't quite cover it, but this is calling something eye wash, be like, you're doing like, save it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, shut up. Like, roll their eyes. Like someone who's like, for example, someone who's like always make sure they're in the clubhouse doing their arm motion because they want everyone to see them. Guys will do this with them. Meaning, eye wash, you're doing eye wash. None of that makes a difference. AKA 80% of baseball etiquette. Exactly. So a lot of eye wash. I use eye wash a lot. But like, it was very common. Someone would do some, like, I would do this constantly. Guys would be doing like their little dry work or whatever before we're throwing play and catch. And it had value. I just wanted to give them shit. And I would go stand behind him, get someone else's eye contact in the other side of him and be like, look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Eye wash. I hate eye wash, man. Hate it. So much. There's so much eye wash in baseball. It's crazy. There's so much people just doing stuff to do it. It's insane. I hate it. I hate it. Next up, we have for me. Now, this one's interesting. I feel like this is just normal. This doesn't feel like baseball. But basically, in my opinion, you say for me. For me, da-da-da-da-da-da. If you're asking me, da-da-da-da-da-da. I think this is a common thing used in baseball because it is a way that we can our answers to media. So like, it's a media training thing. You say for me, so you're like, for me, this is this. So you're just like saying, in my opinion, but I don't know. That's a good way to give a very ambiguous answer. So we say for me, we learn to do it, and everyone starts to say for me, and here we are. For me, this is great. For him, not so much. Like, in my opinion, great. So I don't know. I feel like I've said that before baseball, but I can't remember. It seems pretty straightforward. 4A. So this is interesting. So instead of seeing it this way, you should see it. Let's do this. File new. Instead of this way, see it this way. So 4 A's, literally, quad A. So if you're not familiar with the minor leagues and how it's put together, right? There's low A, or there's rookie ball, low A, high A, double A, triple A, and then big leagues, right? You would think that the big leagues is quad A, but in reality, the big leagues is the big leagues. And so 4A is like a player that's up and down between major leagues. So if you're talking about like what type of player is he? It's like, oh, he can fill in for teams. He can fill in spots, but he's never going to be the guy that they're making sure they keep on their roster, right? He's going to spend time in AAA for a while. Then he might go to a bad team and stay up all year. And then sometimes they become like a veteran guy that goes up and down. And those guys might be called like this guy's pretty good. He's played pretty well since he's been up. Like, what do you think about him for long term? And like, they'll be like, I think he's a 4A guy. So, 4A. It's I don't think it's disparaging. It's just a way to like say so far he's shown to be a 4A guy, but there's still potential, right? And obviously you want to peak at a big leaguer, not a 4A guy. Always the 27th dude for the doubleheader. Exactly. Paul, great point. It's the guy they call up for a doubleheader. The guy that's up and down, that's a 4A guy. Joe Adell lurking around. And the thing is, like, for a guy like Joe Adell, that's really disappointing for a lot of fans and for people evaluating him because he's so toolsy and he's the potential to not be, but he's played that way. And then there's guys who are just they're drafted and then they are profiled as the best they're going to be as a 4A guy, and those are commonly called org fillers or organizational fillers, which I hate that term as well. Honestly, if I hear a GM, if I ever ask a question and a GM refers to his players as controllable assets, I will probably stop him and be like, don't say that anymore. Stop it. They're humans. Stop. Think it. Don't say it. Thought I'd throw that out there. Nelson Cruz. Yeah, he was a 4A guy for a long time, and then he wasn't, right? Another guy like that was Jamie Moyer. You know, there's always time to figure it out. But the thing is, when you're tagged as a 4A guy, it's harder and harder to get opportunities. A guy with the A's, Daz Cameron, another one, right? Where like he'll be in AAA for 2 years, then he'll be in the big leagues for a year and a half, then he'll be in AAA for a year, and then like Mike Castman, example of 4A. Honestly, though, Mike Castman, I would say he was even not quite a 4A player. He is the all-time home run leader, but he did not have very much big league time. Yeah, those business terms get gross. Yeah, we need to kind of push against this shit a little bit. Everything can't be business related. Everything can't be money. Everything we do all the time can't be that. It's a problem. So I think it's important to be like, hey man, let's just, keep it to a minimum here. Okay. Fringy, very similar. Fringy is very similar. Fringe means, he has a chance to be more than that, but will most likely be 4A. So fringy is similar, describing something marginal, additional, or secondary to some activity. Fringy might even include second guy on a depth chart. There's really good, like a third wide receiver, a fourth wide receiver on a team, that type of thing. Fringy average chicken parm, like meh. It's like a meh. Then we have guy. That guy's a guy. So this is common in pop culture. Think about, he's him. He's a guy. He's like, I think the GOAT is a little bit farther, but the GOAT has been used so often that he's starting to be used as a guy too. But like, dude, that guy's the dude. He's a dude. He could be a star, a man, a fellow, a dude, an everyday player in the majors as opposed to a dude. Oh, sorry. Guy, he's a guy. Okay. So we're not using this. This is different than dude. So the dude is Shohei Ohtani, right? The dude is Shohei Ohtani, but a guy is Tommy Edman. Does that make sense? So the stars, the best players are dudes, and then the regulars are guys. Yeah, he's a guy on that team. He's one of their guys. He's a guy. Yeah. He's an everyday big league player. Someone would have said, I'm a guy. I was a guy. Was never the dude. Maybe for like a week at some point, or maybe a day. Maybe there was days where I was the dude, but I was just a guy. Just a guy. But it's a positive thing. Being a guy means you're an everyday big leaguer. That's what you want. And if your team is full of guys and has a couple dudes, welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? That's what it reminds me of. So, hang with them. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Hang with them. This one. Use this one. I've used this one a lot. Hang with them means wear it. I know that doesn't clarify it. Everyday meaning. The closest non-baseball equivalent is hang in there. Sorry you're feeling sick. Hang in there. Hang with them means get through it. Grind it out. Hang with them. Yeah, guys, we're in a rain delay, but we are playing this game. Hang with them. All right, everyone just hang with them. We're just hanging out. Wear it. Deal with it. Hang in there. Stay ready. Let's go. We lost tonight. We used the whole bullpen. We put our leader guy on the injured list. Now we got a doubleheader tomorrow with the ace on the mound. Hang with him. Yeah, you just say hang with him. It's basically you wrap up a thought and say we're doing it live. Hang with him. You guys know. So you can use that one at your jobs. Someone's complaining. It's like, I'll just deal with it. You're like, hang with them. Hit them with them. Like, it's kind of an endearing term. Like, hey, we're all in this together. I know what you mean. Shit sucks right now, but you'll be okay. The storm will pass. Hang with them. All right. Horse, everyday meaning, a large, solid hoofed, herbivorous, ungulate mammal. Someone who's durable and reliable. Horse. That guy's a horse. That guy eats innings. Zach Wheeler, horse. Garrett Cole, for the most part, up into this point in his career, horse. Corbin Burns, horse. Guy takes the ball, stays healthy, and throws a lot. That's a horse. Workhorse. And horse means different things now. Now, like a horse is like a reliever that throws 65 times. Starting pitcher if a guy throws one complete game in a year, he's a horse now. But you want a guy to get the horse tag. I got that in the minors just because I was just big, strong, and my velo stayed up the whole time. So, like, you can call a guy a horse by doing something well. Like Paul Skeens is a horse. Sabathia, a horse. Exactly. Haas, synonymous. Yeah, Haas is just the southern version. The North, we don't have pigs really. We don't talk about pigs as much. But yeah, Haas is the same exact thing. Like right now, when Jake DeGrom's healthy, he's a horse. But when he's not a horse. Matt Cain, quintessential horse. Exactly. Oh, hey, Yard Sale. I'll check it out, man. All right, moving on. Kitchen. Ooh, I like this. The kitchen. So there's two terms here that they only cover one here. Kitchen is obviously, you guys know what a kitchen is, but an area of space from the inside corner to hitter's torso. So, like, your kitchen is here. So it's like getting in on a guy, in on his hands is his kitchen. Get it into his kitchen. Get it in his kitchen, right? Get it in there. Get it into, like, it's an intimate spot where you can throw that's hard to hit because people's kitchens, everyone has one. So it's like up and in or close to you and put it in his kitchen. Or a hitter can say it this way: put it into my kitchen. They can be referring to the spot that they hit the hardest because the kitchen is where they like to be. Also known as a wheelhouse. That's not used as much. People don't use kitchen interchangeably, but it has been used that way. But wheelhouse is usually used the other way. The wheelhouse, basically the engine that makes the paddle boat go, the wheelhouse, is where a hitter makes their money. Throw it into my wheelhouse where I can hit it the hardest. That's a different version. But that kitchen has been used in the past to mean that. It's where he likes to eat. Yes, so if I'm saying I'm throwing it into his kitchen, I mean I'm throwing it where I want to eat. He's like, put it in my kitchen. It's where I want to eat. But wheelhouse has been used much more commonly these days. All right? Let it eat. You guys know what I mean. Let that dog eat. Let it eat means just let it go, especially in pitching. Perform an action with conviction. So let your fastball eat. Grip it and rip it. Let it eat means grip your pitch and throw it as hard as you can. Grip it and rip it. Let it eat. Or for a hitter, let it eat means see your pitch and let it eat. Swing as hard as you can. It just means do whatever with conviction and as hard as you can. Take your best swing, throw your best fastball, throw your best slider, let it eat, grip it and rip it. Let's go. And grip it and rip it also refers, you would use that in a situation where your brain, where you're not thinking anymore. You just go, make the decision and go. Grip it and rip it. The Whomping Zone. Down and in is the Whomping Zone. To whomp a ball is, yeah, I don't know anyone who said Whomping Zone, but I know what he meant. I call it the Nitro Zone or the Go Zone. Nitro Zone, Go Zone, Whomping Zone, all the same thing. Means that is where a hitter is going to hit it good. That's where he's going to let it eat. Auto Zone. Get in the zone. Twilight Zone. You guys get it, right? Plus means good. He's got a plus whatever. He has a good whatever. 1 grade up, plus. Just add 1 unit. Add a unit. Add a unit. Okay, so if we're saying, oh, that guy has a plus fastball, means he's got a solidly above average fastball. He's got a plus fastball. He's got an elite fastball. He has a 80 fastball is the best fastball you've ever seen. Plus. Pretty easy. You can throw plus on anything. You guys, I think you get that. Like, what do we got? We got Paramount Plus, Hulu Plus, Disney Plus. Same shit. Service time. So this isn't slang. This is a actual term, and that's the number of days that you get in the major leagues. You have to be on the major league roster active to get service days. You get 172 days in a year. That's 1 year. There's 183 possible days to get in a major league year. So if you miss 11 days, if you're sent down for 10 days, you could still get a full year. But if you're sent down for 12 days, you're going to get 171 days out of 183. So that's not a full year. I hope that makes sense. So service time is literally how long you are serving your team, which the word service is weird to me. But is what it is. Is what it is. Service time is not slang, no. Service time is in the CBA, I think, in that term. But it's interesting. A lot of people don't know what service time is, though. The show and go, the best thing in baseball. The show and go, the Legion game, the Babe Ruth game, the Little League game. Show up an hour before, go play. It's not an hour before. It's usually like 2.5 hours before, so you can eat and so you can go out and play catch if you're a pitcher or whatever. But instead of getting there 5 hours before the game, you get there 2.5 hours before the game. There's no BP. There's nothing on the field. So basically, the team is not practicing that day. We're not practicing as a group. We're kind of doing everything on our own, doing whatever we need to get ready for the game. Show and goes are the greatest thing ever. Joe Madden actually is famous for doing a show and go week where they would do a whole week of just, there was no BP on the field unless you want. So basically you just say, hey, can I get BP? Everything would be optional. So like some guys would show up at normal time because they wanted to get there and they needed to do their work. And other guys, like basically it's like show up at 4 or 4:30 for a 7 o'clock game and no one's going to say anything to you, which it takes a little bit of a weight off your head. You can hang out with your kids in the morning. You can go to and have like a little bit of a normal job situation, and it takes a little bit of energy, recharge a little bit of energy. Even though it's not really that much more time, it feels like it is because you have the option. And we get very few options. We get very few days where we get to just control what we're doing. So show and goes are the best. Only thing better than a show go is a rain out. So 1 extra than 170, whatever, and you can make up for it and add another year exactly. No, you can't, Dustin. So that's the shitty thing. So if you get 170 and the next year you get 183, you're at 1 year, 170 days. You can't get they won't give you the 12 days. So when it goes 120 to 183 the next year, you don't get those 11 days tacked on and then catch up. No, that's kind of what happened. In order to get 10 years, I was going to have to go play a whole nother year for not a whole year of service. I only needed like 4 months, but I would have had to go through spring training and do that. And that sucks. Yeah, no. And that's Dustin. That's a lot. You know, when you hear service time manipulation, everyone's like, oh, they're not calling them up so that they get an extra year of control over them. That's why. You go to ARB, you have to have a certain number of service time. And if you miss it by a day, you got to wait a whole nother year to go. No, I did get the gold card. You get the gold card at 8. I didn't get the 100% pension. I have a 90% pension, which is pretty much the same thing. Okay, spin. To revolve rapidly, same thing. Also verb and noun. So while both fastballs and breaking balls revolve rapidly, the word spin is almost always refers to the kind that causes the ball to break. He can really spin it. When you say someone can spin it, that means they're trying to spin it. So we use the word spin when we're referring to a breaking ball most of the time because that is one where the speed at which it spins matters the most. Right? So like someone can throw a 2200 spin rate fastball and they could throw a 2600 spin rate fastball and they can move the same. It doesn't affect it as much. The Magnus effect isn't affected as much, but with breaking ball, 400 spin is a big deal. So That's what spin means. Man, that guy could spin it. Tyler Duffy rolled out of bed and spun it. We got spit. Spit on it means not impressed. To spit on a pitch means basically you're like, I know what's coming, and you look at it, you're like, nah. So it's a good pitch, and you take it, it's close to the zone, and you spit on it. Like, imagine comes in, you go, puh. I don't want that. Like literal spin on it. Literally spit on it. Think of the Old West, and someone says something, you say something to somebody, and you spit. You're not impressed. Spit on that thing. Hawk Tua. Have you guys checked out Hawk Talk, the Barstool's new pod? How do you feel about how Jose Altuve is treated in every road stadium with all the boos and vulgarities thrown towards him? Seems like Jose very liked by his peers. Any thoughts? Yeah, I don't think he deserves a lot of the hate he gets, though. That the whole buzzer accusation thing was really fishy. Still to this day, I watch it. I'm like, what the hell is happening here? Because one thing I know for almost positive, it was not what he said it was. That's for sure. So, yeah, but to spit on something is to just let it go. The show. So Major League Baseball is commonly referred to as the show. MLB The Show. That didn't come from nothing. The show is what we call the major leagues. Marcy gifted a sub to Spore. Enjoy that, dude. Thank you for gifting your second sub. Can I get some love in the chat for that? Thank you so much for the new sub, for the gifted sub. Very nice. So to say something is show, something is big league, it's usually nice. So like guy's got designer clothes on, be like, you look show as hell today. Joe Mauer would say every day, he'd be like, hey Trev, how you doing? I'm like, great, Joe, how are you? And he'd be like, just another day in the show. And I'm like, you're right. It is. But yeah, calling someone show. And then another version of this is if someone so like if you see an ex-player or someone you played with or someone that you know and they walk by you and they don't acknowledge you or it feels like you're being ignored or someone like slights you, you say they big leagued you. I want you guys to use that one more. Like your boss walks by, you're like, what, you're going to big league me? And so players do this all the time, especially guys with a lot of time. And usually it's like veteran guys with a lot of service time with like a young guy. You'd be like, what, dude, you going to big league me? You're not going to come over and shake my hand? And they're always like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, it's just to make people uncomfortable. So big leaguing somebody is to act like you're better than them, basically. Which it's usually a joke. Sometimes it's true, but usually it's a joke. Waffled. He waffled me. It means hit hard. So he waffled that means he crushed it. It's like one of those things because waffles are compressed down, right? They got the holes and stuff. Waffled. I feel like waffle's kind of old school. No one really says that much anymore. Wear it. I mentioned earlier, hang in there. Where it's another similar thing, and it refers to being hit by a pitch. So basically, you get hit, and instead of being like, "Oh, I didn't like that," you say, "Oh, I like that," and you wear it, meaning like you're like, "I wish the ball stayed on my body." Wear it like a badge of honor, basically, or wear it like a badge of honor. Like wearing your scars, wearing it. Lean into it, wear it. Just shut up and wear it. Right? Like when they make rookies carry everything, just wear it, man, and you'll be fine. And then rookies just wore it and they were fine. Wearing it is great when I say that constantly. Still, wraparound. I thought this was a dirty one, but in reality, it just refers to the fourth game in a 4-game series being the first day of the next week. For example, next week the Phillies have a wraparound series. It starts on with the Mets. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday they continue to play while everyone else is off. That's a wraparound. Not to be confused with a reach around. That's a good way to end the video. Some other interesting terms I have for you. A tank, it's a home run. Dinger, home run. We're calling the ghost runner at second a ghost runner, even though it's a real runner. I don't know why we're doing that. Free runner, but that's another one. I'm trying to think of other slang terms. Honestly, just ask me. Zombie runner. Sneaky slow. Guys who are sneaky slow. Guys you would think were fast, but are actually not that fast. Brian Dozier, sneaky slow. Sneaky slow. Louis Arias, sneaky slow. Very sneaky slow. Extremely slow. Skinny fat. Those are my favorite people. They're technically skinny, but they're like also don't have any muscle definition. Skinny fat. Good times. But yeah, those were great. Tyler Kepner, go check it out. Kepner, it was a good article, man. I really enjoyed it. I thought it would be fun to go through it and talk about all those things. But yeah, those are great. I love the, if you want to talk about blowing doors or underwater swing as a guy when he's so far behind a fastball that it looks like he's swinging underwater. We called things like a swing jacket. So on the bat, you have the weighted sleeve you put on to hit with it. Basically, when a guy pulls the ball like so far, he pulls it so far that it's crazy foul. And they warmed up with it. They would call that a swing jacket because they warmed up with a swing jacket and they shouldn't have. And then it became a joke that now when the guy's super late and he fouls it off the other way, they called that a swing jacket as if he had the swing jacket still on the bat. He was so late because he made it heavier. So like it can be both. It's funny both ways. It's just one of those things. And then at the last slang term that I'll leave you with before we move on is there's a very common food that is always in spreads, especially for getaway days, asparagus. And I had a teammate named oh my God, Shane Robinson, and he used to call them dick farts. And to this day, I say that every single chance I get. And that is your slang 101 class. I hope you took good notes. Gross. Dick farts. It's so gross. I know it makes a ton of sense. Not only that, the whole team ate it, so you can imagine. You can imagine. You can imagine. Ooh, should we do a quick crazy stat of the day before we break down Kumar Rocker, bro? Here's the craziest stat of the day. Somehow, Louis Arias has not struck out in 129 plate appearances. Excuse me? So I have faced this person in live VPs quite a bit, and I got to tell you something, guys. I never struck him out one time, not once. I think I got him swing and miss one time, and I'm a swing and miss dude. He's only struck out 26 times this year. That's nuts. What's the record? It's what, 150? So he's got 129 straight plate appearances without striking out. Williams Astudillo thinks 129 in Rose's child's play. I don't think he does. I think Louis Arias and him would he give him a run for his money. Hey, look at that sneaky slow guy beat that out. That's crazy. But yeah, Astudillo had like 4,000 minor league at bats, only struck out 100 times. So pretty good. Okay, so this is the record. Longest plate appearance streaks without strikeout. 223. Okay, so he's chasing Tony Gwynn's 170. Dude, if anyone breaks Tony, Bill Buckner had a 184. Guys, I feel so bad for Bill Buckner. This guy was really good. This guy was really good, and he is just all he is remembered for is that F up. It sucks. But we're seeing possible history in the making. If we see this happen, because I think he has enough ABs to at least get into that top 5 list, that happens, plus a 50-50 from Ohtani. This has been a crazy year. And to say about Judge, is he just the best? He is. He's the best player. He's the best hitter in the major leagues. He's the most dangerous hitter in the major leagues. I think Juan Soto is still the best hitter in the major leagues, with the close third being Brent Rooker. All right, you guys want to do a little Kumar? All right, Bro, I already did this. Why is it making me do it again? Okay, hold on. Gotta log in again, guys. I don't know why it doesn't say logged in, but hey, save. I would love to save it. Yes, okay. All right, Kumar Rocker. I want to talk about Kumar Rocker, and let's go look at the movement on his pitches. Okay, so little Kumar Rocker breakdown here. Let's grab just his game. So if you're not familiar with Kumar, he was a first rounder drafted by the Mets, and then did not sign. Had Tommy John, has kind of bounced around. Did he go play indie ball? And he made his debut against the Mariners the other day, striking out 7. Yeah, so he went to indie ball, and he's got an interesting path forward. But he pitched the other day against Mariners. I watched it through 4 innings, and there were some interesting things to take away. First of all, the guy's a monster. But I want to look a little bit at his outing. So this is what he did. 74 pitches, 4 innings, 3 hits, a run, 7 punchies. Pretty good. And this is how he's doing in Round Rock, which is awesome. I didn't know he didn't throw very much this year, though. This is crazy. So he's back, and he's in the show, and he threw pretty well. But I want to look at the movement of some of his pitches. Let's just run this. So first of all, first pitch he throws in the major leagues is a hit. That's usually not a good sign. That makes me a little bit. And also, he reminds me so much of this guy. That's not how you spelled it. What the hell? Wait, what's Felipe Almont? How do you spell his name? Oh my God, bro. You guys remember this guy, Felipe? Oh, there it is. There it is. I didn't remember how to spell his name. This. Almont, not Almonte. Oh, that's, dude, hold on. He's French. This guy. Dude, his motion reminds me of him. Let's see if I can get video of him pitching. Kumar reminds me of his throwing motion. So I'll show it to you. See how he see his leg kick? That's Felipe, and this is Kumar. You guys see it? He's like a little bit taller, but like the way they do their leg kick is like almost the same. And I was like, that looks really familiar. Who is that? It took me a while to figure it out, but I played with Felipe for a long time. So Kumar's been throwing a sinker, which is like just kind of a little two-seam guy. little two-seam piece. You give it back-to-back hits to start the game. Good little slider. Those are two good pieces of hitting right there out of Julio and out of Victor, whose helmet fell off immediately when he started running. I'm from Japan, and there are 2.3 players in Japan that are better than Shohei. Excuse me? 2.3? 2 1/3 hitters? That's crazy. But he obviously throws really hard. So let's check out the movement on these pitches. Pitch log. And then I'll get some movement profiles. Movement me. So I want to see like verts and horizontals, right? So four seam with a 13 in vert, that's not good. Sinker though runs looks like 15 plus every time. So when you're throwing a sinker, or if you're throwing a two seam, because sinker insinuates that you're trying to get depth. His sinker has like 9 inches of vert, 8 inches, 6 inches. He doesn't have a really heavy sinking sinker. Juris Familia had like negative numbers on vert every time he threw fastball at 97. That's a sinker. But if you're going to throw a two-seam fastball, you want it to run 15 plus inches. Same thing with your changeup. And it seems like it is. So sinker's good. His four-seam fastball is not good. This is not a good four-seam fastball. Right? If he tries to live at the bottom of the zone with this, it's going to he's going to have to use the slider a lot. So he has, though, a really depthy slider. Look at the depth on these, right? This is vert. -4, -5. Most guys throw a gyro and it's 0-0, which means it's moving a lot, but not a ton. He is a heavy depth slider. So this was what my slider was when I first started throwing it. And I would notice that when he was throwing it, I was like, this thing's got a lot of depth. It's going down. So he does not throw a sweeper, he throws the opposite. But his four seam is not it. I would say stick with that sinker, bro. Roki Sasaki and Munetaka Murakami. Neither one of those guys hit, though, Kusei. Are you talking in terms of pitching? They might be better as a pitcher. Are they two-way guys? So he's got this 2.5 slider. So I want to show you guys the slider. I want you guys to see what that looks like. Let's go slider only. And let's just run it. All right. Look at these sliders. Look, it looks like it's going straight down, just like a little bit to the left, but not really. He only gets more a horizontal when he throws it to that side of the plate. But it's a good so also one thing to notice about him, because of his lack of vertical, like horizontal, there's not a ton of horizontal. He's got a little bit, but not a ton. This is a little bit off the plate right here. Right? But because the ball doesn't move that much, it doesn't take a hard left turn. This is going to look like it's inside the whole time. Like it's going to look like it's right here. So he still might take it. So he's not going to get a ton of chase. He's not going to like consistently get chase on this pitch. And it's going to get taken like that. Just notice it. See how much depth it has? I just know that because I struggle with the same thing. So he's going to have to get the ball below the zone over the plate more because it has more depth. Now, it worked out sometimes that night, but not all the time. Right there. That's a good one. That one's going to get swung at more than the other one is. That one's not going to get chased because the whole time it's a ball. It's a ball the whole time. But you got to swing at that one because it's over the plate, right? And he just got buckled there. He just guessed. He thought it was going to be a fastball up. It wasn't. All right. I want to see changeup. Did he throw any change? Or did he throw a splitter? Splitter change. No. He throws a changeup. So he almost has the 15 you want for the changeup too. So his sinker changeup combo is pretty good. That's pretty good changeup. Am I allowed to bet on baseball? I think so, because I don't have anything to do with the games. But I don't really. I just do like fake betting. So his changeup's a little too hard. That's pretty clear. Okay. He only threw 2 changeups the other night. So he looks like he's a 2-pitch pitcher right now, and he's got a dead zone 4-seam fastball. So just pay attention as you're watching him pitch, guys. The 4-seam is probably going to start getting used less than the sinker, and he's a little bit mechanical in my opinion. So it's going to be interesting to see how he goes. But he's got some stuff there that is definitely going to be fun to watch. But it is crazy how middle of the road his 4-seam fastball is. White Beauty, 27 months. Thank you so much. Welcome back. So that's Kumar Rocker. Look at that. Wait, did that page show negative FIP values? What page? No, probably not. Tyler, probably not. That changeup slider combo would be good off that sinker below. Yeah, I'm. He's only thrown 40 innings, so let's give him a minute. But metrically, there's some juice there. There's some juice there. But the 4-seam fastball, I mean, he throws 97, right? Paul Skeens has a similar fastball sometimes. His is more of a dead zone than Skeens, but Skeens doesn't have a riding fastball either. He just throws 100. So that's the difference. And Skeens' off-speed pitches are more dynamic. So we'll see how he pans out. But by all the metrics, he looks pretty good, man. Looks pretty good. It'll be interesting to see how he does. All right. And that's our breakdown. Brought to you by. Sorry, forgot to do this. Brought to you by Focus Fuel. Dial it in with your Focus Fuel. Use code baseball at focusfuel.com for 10% off your energy gummies. These are delicious. Please buy them and eat them. I'm going to have another one because I love them. Where can fans go look at this info? Baseballsavant.com, Steven Lopez. Baseballsavant.com. I will show you right now. It's not exactly this website because this is my internal. This is True Media, what I use to do my stats, and that's it's a subscription and it is not cheap. But this, you can go do it. You can go Kumar Rocker. Baseball Savant. And you can go look at a lot of these metrics. They'll look a little bit different. But you can go here. This is how everything moved. Tells you how much versus average. Here's a slider. Again, like I said, it's 5 extra inches of drop, which is 16% more than average, but his inches of break is 1 inch of break, which is 4% less than or 4 inches less than average. Like I said, a lot of depth, not a lot of sweep. Negative 83%, positive 16%. Here we go. 4-seam fastball, 3 inches less than average. That means bad ride, and it runs more than average, which means it's a dead zone. This is not what you want for your 4-seam at all. That is not what you want. You got to throw 97 for that to be okay. But his sinker's pretty good. So I would say stick with this, throw this more often. And he, by all accounts, well, no, actually he didn't. He threw 30 fastballs. So this other stuff he's going to need all his other pitches to be he's going to throw a lot of sliders, basically. So, boom. Yeah, Tyler, I think that was just a random other number about something else. So yeah, you can go to the Savant. You can check this out. All right, guys, we have our pick'ems in for the week. So basically, kill the 4-seam and go sinker slider. I would say not kill the 4-seam. I would say still use it. Let them know you have it, but I would try to keep it 50-50 at this moment. Now, I don't really know what the plan is, and but I know that his slider and his sinker are kind of different. It would be better if he had a 4-seam. So it'd be interesting to wonder what they're seeing and why he doesn't have ride, because I feel like he could get it. So I don't know. It'd take more analysis. But if he gets in a situation where he has to pump 4-seam fastballs because he can't control anything else, it might not be a good day that day. That's all I'm saying. This guy here who we're dissecting, we just did Kumar Rocker. And now we got it open for questions. Anyone got any questions? Let's hit it. The minor leaguer with 59 saves throws a 4-seamer that can get up to 103 and a slider that can get to 94, but his sinker, which is his main pitch, only sits at 94, 95. Have you ever seen that? No. But he probably throws that variation, that splinker, the wide grip. So the pitch that's between a splitter and a fastball and held inside of the horseshoe to make it a two-seam grip. Kind of like Paul Skeens calls that a splinker. They're calling it a sinker now. Kind of like Ben Joyce is throwing a splinker, but it's like instead of a fastball like that, they're going like this. They're just splitting, but they're not going full splitter. They're going between a fastball and a splitter. Besides basketball, what sports are you best at? Football, or not football, basketball. Baseball is my best sport. Basketball is my second best sport. I love basketball. That's probably what he's doing. And his four-seamer probably doesn't have a lot of ride, and that's why he's not throwing it. Because that's what they're being told, no matter what. Which, Ben Joyce, another guy with no ride. It's funny. The ride kind of isn't what people are going for anymore, which is interesting. Were you allowed to listen to the radio broadcast in the bullpen? No. We were not allowed to hear any audio from the game when we were in the bullpen. And the game had to be like on a crazy delay. If they even put it on, which they didn't do most of the time. Most of the time, they just didn't do it, which drove us crazy. We couldn't see. And also, in Citi Field, you can't see anything. So, yeah, no, we don't. All right, guys. We're about wrapping up here. I have next week. We are on schedule, but the chances that goes off like schedule are low. I will basically make a public, I'll just tweet it, or I'll say it in Discord too. So it'll be in Discord, and I'll probably tweet that, like, hey, baby's here, right? You guys will know. You'll be able to find whether or not the baby's arrived. When the baby has arrived, I am taking the Monday following that baby, unless it's that day too. So I'll keep you updated, but I'm going to take a little bit, at least a week and a half, 2 weeks off, just where I don't have anything planned, so that I can just figure out how we're going to do our schedule, and then try to create some productive time, and then make sure that Monday mornings from that point on are at least our best shot. But we'll do our best. How's Kate feeling? Done. She is done being pregnant. She's so over it. So, yeah. Do all MLBs nowadays have a nerd department who call themselves baseball scientists? Not everyone calls themselves baseball scientists. People who are baseball scientists are actually going and doing the physics check-ins and stuff. There's data scientists. They literally are hiring people who are jobs title is data science. So, but yeah, not everyone calls themselves a baseball scientist, but yes, everyone has people that are in that role now. Pretty much everybody. I don't know if the A's do yet, but most teams. All right, guys. I will be, as of right now, it's TBA, but I'm gonna be back on Monday. It is also my birthday. And so we'll have a big celebration. We'll do something. We'll do some birthday celebration where I'll give you guys presents for my birthday. We'll do like giveaways, some merch and stuff too. It'll be fun. All right. I was actually looking at MLB job posts for data analyst. Yep, that's exactly the type of thing it wants to do. If we don't catch you, we'll see you later. All right, guys. I'm gonna go do some chores and stuff and help Kate out. I got to get ready just in case, because we don't know when things are gonna happen. Make sure you go follow me on TikTok, on Instagram. Catch me all the short form stuff. Go follow Neptune Pitching if you are into learning more of the ins and outs of pitching. We recorded one of those videos today, and we'll see. I would like to expand this show into talking about other sports as well. So if you're into football, if you're into basketball, anything related, maybe we do college football, college. Just like get into it a little bit. Talk about movies. We can talk about whatever you want. It is about to be the off season, and that is going to be part of it as well. And then there might be some gaming involved. I have discussed with Darkness and Paul, and I would love to go join them from time to time and play. I don't know if I'm going to be even on stream or not. If not, I'll let you guys know that I'm on their stream and you can hear me, and I might play with them. But I do miss my friends. I understand now with the baby. It's funny that I'm having these thoughts now when I don't know. But like, I'm going to try to find areas to do that, because I just won't keep contact with my friends. All right. I'm down to talk football. I am too. I'm down to talk about other stuff too. We don't always have to talk about baseball. I like sports. I'm getting back into it. All right. You guys have a great rest of your day and great rest of your week. And let's see if our underdog hit. And guys, if it hit all three, maybe I'll have a little prize for you. We'll see. All right. You guys have a great week. I love you. Drink some water. Watch some baseball, and let's go Mets. Let's go Mets, right, guys? Let's go Mets. That's who we want to win it, right? Everybody. Yeah, we're all on the same page here, everybody? Yeah? Everyone loves the Mets here in the chat? Right? No Braves fans, right? No Braves fans? All right. Bye.